state. I've lived in nearly every state in Australia and I love it here. We started and we came up with the idea of Lily's Lavender Farm probably 4.5 years ago and brought it into action about 4 years ago. So it was during COVID. We lived in the city in Walkerville or close to it, and we were just deciding at the time to do something different with our lives and make it a bit easier. But actually what we ended up doing was still working full time and planting lavender and making products and working every weekend. So currently we are not free people to do what we like, but we're aiming to get our business off the ground and then potentially make it our full-time proposition in the future. I'll give you a bit of a background on me. So my name's Carl. I'm from Liverpool in England originally. I studied applied chemistry in John Moores University in Liverpool. I spent a lot of years doing things like oil rigs and power stations and large industry, which I enjoyed at the time, but didn't quite feel comfortable in that position, so I moved into water treatment. And that gave me the opportunity to talk to the company I worked for at the time. I was in and out of England and the Netherlands doing it. And I decided at the time to get a better job somewhere warmer. And the company offered me Chicago, which goes to -20 in the winter, or Sydney. So I chose Sydney. I like cricket, I like tea, I like the odd beer, not too many. And we've been here ever since. I've been in every state, but I love it here. And a bit of background on my wife. She grew up in a small town in mid-southern China. And at the time, China was not hugely developed. So for someone to leave that village and to go to Beijing University, which is the premier university, was a very high esteemed thing. Ping was obviously a small genius, although she'd never admit it. She ended up going to Beijing University and studying law. Later on, she paid her way out of China and made her way to New Zealand, where she lived in Christchurch for 5 years. Wellington, I always get that wrong. Sorry, any Kiwis in here. So, Ping then later on, after several years there and a degree, moved to South Australia, where she's been ever since. She now lectures law at the University of SA and has written many books on that subject and is always extremely busy. And that's basically us in a nutshell. I will turn this on. That always helps. There we are. The graphics very slow. So, established in 2021, we've moved the business slightly along. We have online presence and stuff. Look, we've done the introduction. I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about the history of lavender and the importance in history and where we are currently with it. There's a little bit of chemistry in there because I'm a bit of a chemistry geek. I won't bore you with it. It's not something ad nauseum that you can all fall asleep to. I'll talk about our business, how we bought the land, what we had to do to remediate it and grow the lavender, and basically where we are today. There's also a number of things that we went through. We had some problems with the thing. We had some problems with weather. We've had some disasters with drought and also with a little bit of frost, but it's still going and we're extremely happy with the progress that we've made. There'll be a little section on our bees because we have got flow hives in our garden and the bees are amazing, and just a bit on that. I'll talk about the business model, what we do in terms of marketing, how we supply our products online, and anything else. Our wishes for the future and where we aim to be and what we hope for us and also for Strathalbyn. And then any takeaways and some Q&As at the end. But you have to remember I am pretty brown-thumbed. I started off from a chemical engineering perspective. I can grow a few vegetables. I'm not like any of you guys. I think my green thumb will probably develop later. The lavender is extremely hardy, and I've done my best to keep it alive, but it does it itself. In all honesty, I'm not the magician. Somebody approached me with, where's the lady gone? Somebody in here approached me before with a little sprig of something. There she is, and she asked me if that was lavender, and for all intents and purposes it looks like it, but actually it doesn't smell.
It is. It's lavender canariensis.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I'm here to learn. So lavender canariensis does not have much of a smell. Oh, there you go. It's very pretty, and it's not one that I'm familiar with. So again, I'm not the expert. I can tell you my position and how we've grown it, and we can go from there. We at the moment have some lavender growing in the fields. We've got our Spanish lavender, which is extremely pretty lavender. It has bunny ears, which are purple, and it's an extremely dark. It does smell pretty, but it actually doesn't do anything other than look good, which is kind of a thing for life with the Spanish, you reckon? And then the French lavender is much taller, and has a certain je ne sais quoi about it, but the smell coming from the French lavender has much more camphor. People don't tend to like that. So what we grow is English lavender. It's currently not in flower at the moment. In the next month it will start to flower, and then we can produce lots of oil from that, which we then make into our products.